The Philadelphia Phillies just keep on cruising. These are the stretches you think about when you look for the ceiling of this baseball team. We'll break down their latest win on today's episode.
You are Locked On Phillies, your daily Philadelphia Phillies podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, this is Locked On Phillies. I'm your host, Connor Thomas. Thank you so much for joining us today. We come to you as part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. You may know me from some of my other work in the sports talk space. I've been on air over at 97.5 The Fanatic, doing sports talk radio for a little over 5 years here in the city of Philadelphia. I've been a credentialed Philadelphia Phillies media member for 4 seasons, and this is now my 4th year as the host of Locked On Phillies. Please make sure that you're rating and reviewing if you're checking us out in podcast form. Appreciate you listening. We're available wherever you get your podcasts. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. That'll get you notifications when new episodes are posted. It's free and easy. So I appreciate everyone who's done that and everyone who's going to do that. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Go ahead and check out our friends over at FanDuel and maybe just start betting Phillies money line because they've been red hot lately. They take down the Tampa Bay Rays last night. They shut out the Tampa Bay Rays last night. A 7-0 final, 2-hitter between Christopher Sanchez and Taijuan Walker. Only 2 pitchers in the game for the Philadelphia Phillies. And it was because, well, Sanchez was awesome. Then Walker was awesome. We're going to talk about Taijuan Walker in his own segment because a weird use of Taijuan Walker. He was really, really good. But let's talk about just the team in general at this point. They were unfreaking believable yesterday. And they have been. They've scored 7 or more runs in 7 of their last 10 games. If that doesn't tell you this offense is rolling right now, I don't know what will. And shutting out the Rays, I mean, credit to Christopher Sanchez. He was a little bit shaky earlier. Didn't look like he had his best control. Then he settled into the tune of 6 innings, 5 strikeouts. He did have 3 walks, only allowed 1 hit. Just a lot of soft contact, which if you'll remember with Christopher Sanchez, back in the day, before he was this Christopher Sanchez, before he was dark horse Cy Young candidate Christopher Sanchez, before he was I'm going to strike you out with 97 or the best changeup in baseball Christopher Sanchez, he was I'm going to get you to roll over softly to either shortstop or second base, or me up the middle as a pitcher, and we're just going to throw you out, and we're going to move on to the next inning. And that's more the guy that we saw last night. And that's totally fine. I don't care how you get the outs. I don't care if Christopher Sanchez doesn't strike out another batter all year. I just care that he's not letting guys on base. He was pretty darn good at that last night in his start. So credit to Sanchez. We'll give credit to Taiwan Walker in our second segment. We're also going to look ahead to see if the Phillies can complete the sweep in Game 3 of their series with the Tampa Bay Rays, which is tonight at 7:05. So we'll talk about that later. But I don't even know who to go with as far as the offensive stars in this game. Bryson Stott had 2 hits. Tre Turner had 2 hits and a bomb. Bryce Harper 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Kyle Schwarber 2 for 5. Nick Castellanos 1 for 5. Max Kepler 1 for 5. I mean, JT Realmuto 0 for 3 had a run scored. Alec Bohm 1 for 4. Johan Rojas 1 for 3. Every single one of the Philly starters was on base at some point in this game. They were outstanding, and it was really the 4th inning where they got to Shane Baz, who looked sharp-ish early, but then gives up 1 on the Tre Turner homer in the 3rd. And in the 4th inning, the Phillies just smelled blood in the water and just ran it. The Phillies have now gotten to the bullpen early in these first 2 games of the series against Tampa Bay. That's something we'll talk about in the final segment as to why they can win this series. Win this series. They already have. Silly me. No, why they can sweep this series is what I obviously meant to say. And getting the bullpen involved early cuts down on their usage later on in series. It's something very valuable when you get to the postseason. Still a long way away. It's very valuable when you're playing these road series against a team when you can get to their starter early in Game 1. The Philly starters, meanwhile, Wheeler goes 7. Sanchez goes out there and gives you 6 full. They've been helping out the bullpen. The bullpen's pretty darn well rested, and that is really good to see. As far as Pop's concerned, not much in this game. Tre Turner went yard. That's great to see. He needs to get that power stroke going. He's now hitting, by the way. Take a guess right now. I'm not going to tell you for a second. I'll give you a second to guess to yourself. What is Tre Turner batting currently? He's hitting 307. Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty darn good. For all those people who are like, oh, not worth the contract, this, that, and the other thing. He can't play defense. Okay, I get it. The defense has not been good. But guess what? You can survive with below average defense. What really, really helps is having a guy hitting 307 that's starting to look like he's lifting the baseball a little bit with some power. If Tre Turner turns into that guy we saw, maybe not World Baseball Classic Tre Turner, because that is probably like the highest level of Tre Turner that you could possibly expect. But if he turns into, I don't know, even a version of that guy for this season, the Phillies are going to be pretty damn hard to beat. Speaking of guys that are making the Phillies pretty damn hard to beat, Kyle Schwarber, he just continues to roll along. 2 more hits last night. He's on a 42-game on-base streak that dates back to last year. He's gotten on base in every single game this year. Bryce Harper, who has pretty much gotten on base in every game this year, was darn good yesterday. A 2 RBI double in that 4th inning where the Phillies really got going. I mean, they didn't even really have to add on past that. They scored 1 run in the 6th inning. And other than that, everything was good. And they did it with small ball, right? Johan Rojas had I don't know if it was technically like a full squeeze because the bunt wasn't great. It was fieldable by the pitcher, but I think it was still Boz at that point. Did not make a great play to try and get JT Realmuto coming home. But Johan Rojas gets down a bunt in a big spot. It's just slap hit one way, pull hit the other way, little looper this way, double down the line, ball in the gap. Like, that's what the Phillies were doing. They weren't just like dropping back shoulder, elevate and celebrate, as you hear people say about trying to find that high launch angle to hit home runs. No, they were just putting together really, really good at-bats at the plate. I don't know what more to say, honestly, about how this team's rolling right now. They're doing everything right. They're fielding the baseball better. The bullpen has settled in, and that was something that I said I was going to watch for in this series. I'm going to watch for what the bullpen does. The bullpen's been awesome. And they're also like, it's not like they're getting walked a bunch, the Phillies. But they are getting pitch count up early. Through 3 1/3 innings, Boz last night threw 83 pitches. He did walk 2, but part of that is just them swinging it really, really well. Here's what you need to think about, right? This is probably the perspective needed when the Phillies are going hot like this. 1, the Rays, solid baseball team, now currently sitting at 16-20. The Phillies at 21-15. They're not world beaters, the Tampa Bay Rays. It's not like you're doing this to the Dodgers. So there's a little bit of tempering, I should say, of expectations based on opponent. I'm not going to let that bring me down, and you shouldn't either. But just for perspective, because when the Phillies are playing bad, right, when they're playing bad, I'm always the guy to say, listen, this team is fine. They're going to be better. They're going to win games. They're going to be a playoff team, all of this stuff. When the team is playing good, I'm talking about good, like they are right now. Well, when you see that, you've got to start thinking, okay, well, they're on a hot stretch right now. That's not going to keep up forever. It's not that they're not this team and they're not the other team. They're a combination of those teams. In baseball, anything can really happen on any given day. So it's about trying to find consistency and figuring out a formula for how to create more hot stretches than cold stretches. But when they're playing bad, I want you to think about where this team is right now. Because this team feels like they could beat anybody on the planet and do it without a sweat, the way that they're playing baseball right now. And I'm talking about not just a given game, but in a series as well. And when you see that, you say, okay, this is the team that we thought we were getting. But they were always there. It's not just, oh, they happened to show up this time, right? This team is talented. They're capable of doing this any given day, which is why a lot of people in this fan base, I think, still do deep down believe in this team as a World Series contender. These are the moments that reinforce that over the regular season. I know the postseason struggles. Strike that from your memory until we get to like September, okay? We don't need to talk about it until then. But for the time being, everything that plagued the Phillies early on in the season doesn't seem to be plaguing them right now. And we need to enjoy these times because as much as I say this is the team that they're more like versus the team that was struggling earlier on in the season, they're not going to be like this forever. There are going to be bad stretches. through the remainder of the season. There always are for every team. So what we do as baseball fans is we bank away these good moments, right? We bank away these series, these stretches. Hey, remember when they won 4 straight series? Remember how good they looked? They didn't forget how to play baseball. They're just in a tough stretch right now. They're that team still. Maybe even a better version of that team, depending on what they do roster move-wise through the remainder of the season. Those are the things you hold on to that remind you, oh, okay, good baseball team, just in a bad stretch. Or, oh, good baseball team in a great stretch, but don't expect this as the everyday going forward. Like the series in Cleveland will not be like this. I'm telling you right now. And we're going to preview that series tomorrow's episode because they'll get going on Friday for Friday, Saturday, Sunday games up in Cleveland against the Guardians. Guardians are a better team. Solid baseball team. Now, it doesn't mean that the Phillies can't win that series. And my goodness, if they play them like this, we're having a very different conversation on Monday because we're going to be very, very excited over that one. But my point is this: you just never too high, never too low. The roller coaster of a season, you try and balance it out. And when you're beating team 7-0, you celebrate it. And you remember this team is capable of this. And when you lose the team 7-0, well, you go, okay, that really sucks. And this team needs to play better. But we've been on the other end of that too. It's the ebbs and flows of a baseball season. Right now, it feels like everybody in the Phillies lineup is hot. It feels like every pitcher is dominating. It feels like the bullpen has settled in. It feels like Rob Thompson's making all the right decisions. It feels like everything's bouncing their way. It's a great place to be, and you want to keep this going as long as possible. And that's an enjoyable thing for a fan base. I was going to say, well, that's not going to happen. Right now, let's just leave it at the Phillies are playing really, really fun, enjoyable baseball. And again, like this is what you think of when you think of this team at their ceiling, right? Not just home runs, but using all fields, putting together good at-bats, great starting pitching, fielding the baseball to an adequate degree, and getting enough out of their bullpen to win the game. And all of that stuff happened last night. But speaking of getting enough out of the bullpen, man, they got more than what they bargained for with one Taijuan Walker, who made his first relief appearance of the year last night, and he was in the closer role. Well, technically, and he was great. And there's a lot to talk about with this Taijuan Walker situation. We will discuss that coming up as we continue today's episode of Locked On Phillies. First, let's talk about Supply House because you got to get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades. That's Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you're going to find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. And if you need help with an order, well, Supply House, they do it better than anybody else. They offer expert support and industry-leading service, so you're always going to talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 and you're going to get 5% off your first order. That's SH5 for 5% off your first order at supplyhouse.com. Next, let me tell you about FanDuel, because this is a great time of year to be betting on sports, and FanDuel is a great place to be doing it. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances. Just a couple nights ago, Tyrese Halliburton, a walk-off three-pointer, basically, in Cleveland to stun the Cavs. Last night in Boston, the Knicks go up 2-0. What in the world's happening in that series? There's unpredictable stuff all the time, which means you can make some money on it. Go ahead and check it out. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton's been showing up huge in the big moments in his series with the Pacers and the Cavs facing off. And in the Heat-Knicks series, Mikal Bridges, he's been showing up big defensively for the New York Knicks. So maybe look at the Pacers and the Knicks, or maybe you're looking at the favorites in Boston and Cleveland, who are down 2-0 each and say, oh, well, they're going to bounce back. Whatever you want to do, you can go and check out FanDuel. And if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you're going to get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Taijuan Walker, closer, fireman of the year. Okay, I'm not ready to go all of those places yet, but let's talk about what he did in last night's game, because it was, flat out dumbfounding that Taijuan Walker, and in a good way, was able to do what he did. He comes in relief of Cristopher Sanchez in the 7th inning. And my immediate thought was, okay, well, 7th inning, you're already up by 7. It's 7-0. Everything seems to be in control. Great spot for Taijuan Walker. I said in game 1, the 9th inning where you were up 5 runs would have been a great spot for Taijuan Walker's first relief appearance. But this was a good one as well. Didn't mind that at all by Rob Thompson. Get the guy some work, see what you have. I did not expect when he came in the game for it to play out the way that he did, that he would go the rest of the way, that he would strike out the first 5 batters he faced, that he would have 7 strikeouts in total over the final 3 innings of this game, and that he would lock down his first major league save in his career. Now, you might say, Connor, 7-0. Yeah, weird, quirky rule in Major League Baseball. If a relief pitcher throws 3 innings to end the game, that relief pitcher gets the save. We don't really know that rule because no relief pitcher's throwing 3 innings anymore. But Taijuan Walker he's not your typical relief pitcher. He absolutely is a starter who is converted based on need because the Phillies don't want to go to a 6-man rotation. It is the right move. And it looked like the right move last night. Now, how did this work for Taijuan Walker and what led into this stellar performance? Because he looked as good out of the bullpen last night as he did in any start this year or last year or pretty much as a Philadelphia Philly. Like, this was one of his better performances that I've seen of him in a Phillies jersey. And how does that happen? Is it just so simple? Hey, he was always meant for the bullpen. It's just this perfect fit where everything comes together in beautiful harmony. No, I don't think that's it. I do think circumstance was important. The Rays were down 7-0. They're playing in a minor league park because their stadium has no roof on it. They have no fan base. They don't use any payroll. Those are the teams. Remember when I talked about the Arizona Diamondbacks series ender and the Phils were down 7-2? They fight all the way back to force extra innings. They did not win the game because I said some teams would lay down and die there. The Tampa Bay Rays last night laid down and died. Takes nothing away from what Taijuan Walker was able to do because they're not trying to strike out, but they're also mentally defeated by the time you come in. They're down 7-0. They have 1 hit off Cristopher Sanchez, and then Taijuan Walker comes out and is just like, okay, dice. You're out. That really kills any will to continue to play the game for the Tampa Bay Rays. So again, just like we talked about in the first segment about the Phils cruising, this isn't murderer's row that they're facing, but still, that doesn't take away from what Taijuan Walker was able to accomplish. I really liked what I saw from him velocity-wise. I was really surprised what I saw from him velocity-wise. You will see it. The perfect example is the All-Star game, because it's very rare that you see these top-level starters ever converted into relievers. If you're good as a starter, you're going to remain a starter. But when you see a starter transition to the bullpen, the number one thing you normally see is an uptick in average velocity. And part of that reason is because instead of preparing, right, instead of running a marathon where I'm going to go for a 3-mile run after this, it's not quite a marathon, I'm going to be jogging. If I was going for a 30-yard sprint, boom, right out the gate, I'm moving. That's exactly what it is coming out of the pen, right, for these guys. So as a starter, you prepare for, hey, I'm going to jog. I'll throw 91. I'll throw 92 and save a little bit in the tank so that I can continue to have energy deeper into this game. Now, when you go out of the pen, you're like, oh, I have 1 inning, maybe 2. Gas it up, baby. Let's go. Throw as hard as you can. As hard as you can to still make, hit the strike zone, obviously. And Taijuan Walker was at 94 last night as far as fastball velocity. And I like to see that. He's normally a 91, 92 guy. The velocity has been better this year, but maybe that increased velocity allows his off-speed stuff to play a little bit better because he could throw harder out of the bullpen without having to worry about keeping that stamina up. Splitter was really good. Like his strikeout stuff was undeniably good last night. And I don't know if it was just like the change of scenery. I think part of it too was kind of a screw you to the Philadelphia Phillies, and not in like he's tearing the locker room apart, he's going to be a malcontent. No, but he made his statements clear when he was getting moved to the bullpen. He's like, I'm a starter. I am a starting pitcher, and I'd like to be, but I'll do whatever for the team. That is totally fair to say, right? If you were in that position, you would feel that same way. So we can't fault Taijuan Walker, and he's not wrong. He's a starting pitcher that's getting moved to the bullpen because he has not been good enough over the course of his contract. I'm saying this year he's been solid. And you believe in Ranger Suarez, Luzardo, Sanchez, Nola, and Wheeler more. But if I'm Taijuan Walker and I had the starts of the year that he had and then I get moved to the pen, I'm a little salty. I am. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to shove tonight just to show them. Hey, you guys are going to put me in the bullpen? You see what you're wasting back here? And that's perfect, right? A motivated player is a dangerous player for opposition because he's going to want to go out there and prove himself every night. Now, if he starts throwing really well out of the pen, here's where things get tricky. Let's say Walker, because he threw 3 innings for a reason. He's going to be one of their long relief guys. He's not going to be their closer. I need you to tell me honestly, right? Like, close your eyes and imagine Game 7 of the World Series, 1-run game. You've got runners on base, 2 outs, and the guy that they go to is Taijuan Walker. I would have a heart attack. Win or lose, I probably wouldn't see it because my heart would beat out of my chest. I'm not ready to say, okay, he's a closer or anything like that. Don't jump to conclusions on just one appearance out of the pen, but he did look really good. I just wonder if he continues to throw this well out of the bullpen, do the Phillies consider, if somebody struggles in the rotation, making a change there? Or do they just keep Walker in the bullpen? They say, listen, buddy, we're paying you a lot of money that you probably haven't deserved over the past couple of years based on performance. You're getting it still because we like you and because we had to keep you because nobody else wanted your contract. And for that reason, you're going to throw out of the bullpen. And you're going to be damn good for us, and we really appreciate it. It's not a, hey, you stink, get back there type of thing, but it's a, you haven't been good enough in this role. We're forced to move you into this role. You're still getting compensated better than like anyone else in the pen. So count your blessings and deal for us. And that's what he did last night. He was really, really, really good. And the whole dynamic of the situation is going to be interesting to watch unfold. But if he keeps pitching like that, I know one thing that won't be complicated: the end of games for Philadelphia Phillies fans, because he's a major boon to the bullpen if he's throwing like that. And he also ate up 3 innings of bullpen usage that other pitchers would have beaten up 2 or 1. So it could be a weapon back there in games like these to just go ahead and eat up some innings out of the pen. He's used to the up-down of starter life. So good stuff from Taijuan Walker. Great stuff from Taijuan Walker, the closer in last night's game, but probably not going forward. So don't hold your breath on that one if that's what you think is going to happen. Now, if you think the Phils are going to sweep the Rays, maybe you can hold your breath on that one. Seems pretty likely right now. And with Jesus Luzardo going tonight, they got a damn good chance. We'll talk about how they do it and who needs to stay hot. I guess the whole team pretty much as we preview the final game of the series with the Tampa Bay Rays and wrap up Locked On Phillies for the day. Let's talk about Wonderful Pistachios first, because if you're looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious, you can crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1-ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better-for-you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. I mean, personally, I love the no-shells variety. It's a perfect grab-and-go snack for busy days, whether I'm snacking at my desk, on a road trip, or maybe I just need a quick protein boost. Whatever the case may be, they're always my go-to. And if you love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch, the in-shell options are a classic favorite as well. My favorite are the no shells, sea salt and vinegar. I love those. The flavor's awesome. They have a bunch of different seasonings and flavors, so you got to check them all out. Wonderful Pistachios is the perfect summer snack, the perfect get ready for summer snack, the perfect anywhere snack. So go ahead and check out our friends. Get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. That's wonderfulpistachios.com. Game 3, down in Tampa Bay as the Phils look to go for the sweep. Oh, another sweep opportunity for them. Remember what I told you on Monday. We're going to have a quick review. All right, let's make sure you studied your homework. We don't need to see the Phillies sweep teams. We don't. We want to see the Phillies sweep teams. That would be awesome. It's kind of surprising they haven't swept more teams than just the Colorado Rockies one time. And I want them to, and I hope they do, and I think they can today. But if they don't, if something happens in this game, they've won 2 out of 3. And from where they were pacing in this 4-game series win streak, if they win 2 out of 3 the rest of the way, they're a 105-win baseball team. They're just fine. All right? So that is the first clarifier that we need before we have this conversation. If for whatever reason today doesn't go the Phillies' way, they've already won the series. They've already won 4 straight series. That's totally fine. Okay? So they're in good shape one way or another, which is a great place to be. There are plenty of teams that have lost 2 already and are playing the final game of a series today to try and fight their way from getting swept. Oh, yeah, like the Tampa Bay Rays. I think they're going to have a tough time doing that against Jesus Luzardo, who has been awesome this year. Luzardo is 3-0 with a 1.94 ERA. You could argue that he's been the Philadelphia Phillies' best pitcher. He's also got 47 strikeouts and 41 2/3 innings pitched. Every time, he's only allowed 1 home run. 11 walks. Need to cut down on that a little bit, but that's okay. Every time I watch Jesus Luzardo pitch, I wonder how in the world is he on this baseball team? How did a divisional opponent trade Jesus Luzardo to the Philadelphia Phillies? I get it. The Marlins are not competitive right now, and Luzardo had injury issues down there in Miami. But he is just he's just been a godsend for the Philadelphia Phillies rotation. He's been the stabilizer, right? Wheeler has had his great performances, but he's also had some kind of sketchy bad ones. Not bad for regular pitchers, bad for Wheeler, which is good for regular pitchers, but still. Nolan, we know, had an 0-5 start. He's very much settled in. Sanchez has had shaky moments, and Taiwan Walker had some good starts, some bad starts. Ranger Suarez has had 1 start that was not very good. So Luzardo is the only guy that I could think of where I'm just yeah, this dude hasn't really had one of those. He's just been Mr. Consistent for the Philadelphia Phillies, and I expect him to do that again tonight against the Tampa Bay offense. It does not seem to have an answer for the Fighting Phils in this series. I don't need anything crazy from him because the work has already been done. If he gets through 6, 3 earned or less, perfect. You take that. That is absolutely acceptable. I don't need anything more than that. And then the bullpen could just knock out the 7th, 8th, and 9th. They're fully rested because Walker took all of the responsibility yesterday, which majorly helps out, and they'll be good to go. Facing another righty on the mound, the Phillies offense is Ryan Pepiot. And he's okay, 4.23 ERA, 35 strikeouts, a 2-4 record, a 1.41 whip. He's a middle-of-the-road guy so far for the Tampa Bay Rays. Only 27 years old, so a younger guy. Doesn't have a whole lot of major league experience in his career. He's pitched in 50 games, so he's got a little over 240 innings pitched at the major league level. And in those, he's got 257 strikeouts. So he can strike guys out, but another righty. The Phillies are starting to get into a rhythm against right-handed starting pitchers. We brought this up on yesterday's episode. You keep throwing righties, you could keep the same lineup, and then you end up going into each game saying, hey, yeah, we just did this yesterday. We'll do it again. Now, something that we'll probably talk more about in tomorrow's episode, depending on if there's any majorly pressing news out of tonight's game. Johan Rojas played last night in center field. And Brandon Marsh, who Rob Thompson has said is going to get a good amount of opportunity and normally gets the opportunity against right-handed pitchers, was down. So the handedness is not the 100% end-all, be-all. This is how we're doing it every single time, especially in center field. We will discuss what's going on with the dynamic of both of those guys and what Rob Thompson had to say to them on tomorrow's episode. But there may be a minor tweak in the lineup here or there, maybe to get Edmundo Sosa in the lineup and get him some at-bats. Weston Wilson maybe, but a bunch of guys pinch hit last night because that game was very out of hand with a couple innings left to go. all of these are minor good issues of how to keep everybody fresh on one of the hottest teams in baseball. And hopefully that stretch continues tonight as you've got a major opportunity for your second sweep of the year. I'll tell you right now, I think they're going to get it. I'll tell you right now, I think Bryce Harper goes yard. So we feel pretty good about where the Phillies are at right now, right, folks? Of course. And we're going to hang on to this feeling as long as we can, as long as they keep playing this way. That's all for today's episode of Locked On Phillies. Thank you so much for joining us. We come to you as part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Once again, please make sure you're rating, reviewing, subscribing to the YouTube, all that great stuff that really helps us out. And we'll review this series and preview the Guardian series on our next episode of Locked On Phillies. I'll talk to you tomorrow.